sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. You're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
JJ Bond.
Well, you can't win 2 or 3 or even 4 if you don't win 1. And last night, Lobos
last night win over Air Force. It was very, very convincing for New Mexico. It's what they had to do. Go out there, leave no doubt. I know we talked about it, said, hey, just find a way to win, but it's even better when you go out there like that. A convincing start for the Lobos, start to finish. They dominated Air Force, and that's what you wanted to see. Attack on both ends of the floor. That's what New Mexico did. Head coach Rich Pitino was talking about how they wanted to make Air Force uneasy. Don't let Air Force get comfortable. Let them start executing their offense, getting the outside shot going, getting comfortable in the game, and the Lobos made sure that they forced turnovers, 14 Air Force turnovers. UNM got 20 points off that. Lobos dominated inside, 50-24 in the paint. And that's what New Mexico has to do tonight, is go right at Boise State. They have to attack off the drive, they have to post up inside, cut off the post, and go right at the sides. Because we know how challenging Boise State is going to do. But the Lobos have to be in attack mode. They have to take the mindset they had yesterday of going inside, off the dribble, the post up, and do the same thing against Boise State.
Yeah, I thought they did everything. I mean, going inside was right. Toppin was terrific last night once again. And we're going to, I spoke to JT after the game. We'll hear as we go throughout the show some conversations I had in the locker room, Jalen House and with JT Toppin. But he was really, really good. They only had to play 22 minutes last night, and he had 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 offensive. JJ, one of the things I really noticed was not only did they dominate the boards, they out-rebounded Air Force by 20, 45-25, but they only allowed 4 offensive rebounds by Air Force, which means no second chances. You get second chances, you're out and running. And, on the offensive side, the ball ran through the post.
Yeah, and it's the mindset that they have to have against the size of Boise State is do the same exact thing. Don't slow down or right at them. It's going to be a challenge. Yeah, what Boise State is going to do is they're going to wall you off differently. They're going to be better defensively on the perimeter. They're going to rotate their defense so they can take away you inside. But New Mexico has to do the same thing and just attack. That has to be the mindset. Let's go right at Boise State, take the game to them. Because this is it. This is the opportunity. If the Lobos can get this victory, I think that New Mexico, whatever happens, can find themselves on the right side of the bubble. Come Selection Sunday, it comes down to games like tonight. It's getting it done against Boise State.
Well, different story, right? A Boise State team that's much bigger, let's just much better. Air Force was the 11th seed in an 11-team league for a reason, and Boise State is the 2 seed. And they're good, man. And there's a reason for it. The 3 seed, and they beat you twice. And I think the Lobos, to me, had problems this year with Stanley's size, with Degenhardt's size. Degenhardt's such a tough guard because, and I say a tough guy to guard because he's a 6'9", 6'10", banger. But he takes you outside. His game stretches. He's a really, really tough guy to guard. And their guards are big. and the Lobos talked about it yesterday. But look, man, you couldn't get to that game tonight until you took care of business last night. And I'm going to just tell you, I was impressed with the way they came out. There was no toying around, no playing around. This is business. Let's get it done.
Oh, absolutely. And I think when you're having the conversation, like, you just find a way, but then you see what New Mexico did was go out there, assert themselves, dominate a game in which that's the way they should look against Air Force, 14.5-point favorites. You have the biggest margin of victory that you've ever had in the Mountain West tournament. The way that you're able to disperse the minutes on the opening day, it checked all the boxes for the Lobos.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. That's how to get here. You can email Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. We are on the visual medium. Adrian's showing some highlights already over on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and on Comcast Channel 26. Guest list today, 8:30. What does Jerry Palm have to say? The bracketologist for CBS Sports. JJ, a lot of teams on the bubble. Villanova almost got knocked out yesterday. They played a DePaul team who was on a 19-game losing streak that hadn't had their 8-point lead in their game yesterday was the largest lead DePaul had all year in a Big East tournament game, and they damn near beat them. Villanova needed a 3-point shot with 8 seconds to go to stay firmly on that bubble. But this isn't a vacuum now. You're watching stuff all around the country, and I was kind of alerted to a few things yesterday. One of the things you're watching is the Atlantic 10, Dayton, and if they can win, and how do you feel? Right, there could be a bid stealer there. If South Florida doesn't win or does win the American, that would be a bid stealer. So 2 more spots could open up as we talk to people, around. So, man, oh man, it's not just what happens here. I think the easiest answer is just go take care of business, huh?
Yeah, that's really the only answer right now for New Mexico. Handle your business, what's in front of you. Don't leave it in someone else's hands, because if Lobos come out of today with a loss, I think they're going to be sitting there on Selection Sunday wondering how they did not get into the NCAA tournament.
I think that's right. It's a big, big game. What do you think of the way House played?
Solid. When you look at Jalen, it's one of those things with shooters, right? There's 2 of 6. I'm fine with that. I wasn't worried about
From
it.
3-point?
Yeah, 2 of 6 from 3-point range. The way the Lobos were in control. There's a couple shots. I know anytime Jalen House shoots the ball, everyone's kind of always going to be on edge. But I think some of it was, again, just trying to find a rhythm, knowing that they were in a game in which they were in control. Because you saw early on, the focus was get the ball inside. They were getting the post touches. They were looking the post up. If it wasn't there, then they'd run some offense to get a shot. So I was pleased with what the Lobos did yesterday.
Yeah, I thought from everywhere. All right, elsewhere in the tournament yesterday, Fresno State, the 9 seed, beat Wyoming 77-73. So it will be Fresno State opening up today's play against the number 1 seed Utah State. That'll be 1 o'clock Mountain Time here in Vegas at the Thomas & Mack Center. The next game scheduled for 2:30, 4-5 game, UNLV, San Diego State. One of the Boone brothers is not playing, which is a big, big deal. And I think that's a huge deal for UNLV. Colorado State beat San Jose State. Dude, this game was close. It was about 3 minutes ago it was tied, and you could feel the whole building pucker because not that everybody's a Colorado State fan, but I think if Colorado State would have got beat by San Jose State yesterday, JJ, the Mountain West may have lost one of those potential 6 teams in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, what do you think about the Mountain West and having the hashtag 6th bid Mountain West? They're
marketing the heck out of it. Resorts World.
At least gone 7. Let's go 7.
I see what you're saying. All right.
7 bid Mountain West.
You don't think 6 is enough? I think they're being realistic. Did you see them on the side of Resort World, the new resort over here on the Strip? The whole marketing is all over it. I mean, they've done a really nice job. So Colorado State did come back and win 72-62. They'll play Nevada at 7 o'clock Mountain. And Lobos at Air Force. The game is 9:30 Mountain Time out at the Thomas & Mack Center. Going to be a late night here in Vegas, JJ. And tomorrow night, yeah, that's right. And tomorrow night, if they get through, the game is scheduled for 10 o'clock Mountain Time. We're here for you. I know you got thoughts. You relieved. You feel good about it because here comes Boise State, and as big as yesterday was, it just keep getting bigger and bigger, right? Big games start coming, and they don't stop coming. This one's big. You got a Boise State game, and I think, JJ, I do. I think it's you win and you're in, and you don't, and it's going to be a really, really queasy Selection Sunday for the New Mexico Lobos, so we'll see how it goes. Jerry Palm's going to be with us at 8:30. I'm going to try to get a check-in over at the state tournament as well. Got conversations that you will hear with both Jalen House and JT Toppin. Those were after the win yesterday, so we'll do that. 505-246-0610. When we come back, though, there's a lot of NFL stuff to do. Just rip the Band-Aid off. I mean, let's just take it now and let's just rip off the Band-Aid. When we come back, Broncos are going to eat the majority of Russell Wilson's salary cap number right away. Why, what that means, and how that'll work, we're going to get into that when we return here on the opening drive. IPS, International Protective Service, you see them everywhere. You see them at stores, retail outlets, probably in your neighborhood. They protect my home. They are affordable private security, another layer in a town where, I mean, not just our town, every town, property crime's on the increase, and IPS keeps the bad guys away. They will patrol your home. If you go out of town, they will come by a couple times a day, pick up a newspaper. They will pick up mail. If there is a package that is left, they'll get that for you so the porch pirates don't get it. All of these things that they do for you to keep the bad guys away. It's another level of security, and it really gives you peace of mind. Call IPS, see what they can do for you. I think you're going to like it. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk,
Blasted.
intoxicated, rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Sports Animal in Las Vegas. Brought to you by DSI Document Solutions Incorporated, New Mexico. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. Frontier Restaurant in Albuquerque, tradition for more than 50 years. Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Airport parking, easier, quicker, smarter. And Coleman Vision, perfect game. Lobos win last night. They are advanced to the quarterfinals. 82-56 was the score. They beat Air Force. It'll be Boise State tonight at the Thomas & Mack Center. All right, JJ, let's rip off the Band-Aid, kind of. I mean, Broncos are going to officially release Russell Wilson after January 1st. What that does is they take the majority of their hits for salary cap this year. $53 million in dead cap money this year, $32 next year. They're paying him $37.79 million to play for another team this year. I guess there were options on how to do this. You good with this?
Yeah, it's at some point, there's 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, whatever it may be. You have 2 years to get rid of this dead cap hit from your franchise. And for the Denver Broncos, this year is eating everything. It's cleaning house. It's clearing out the roster. It's figuring out what the future is going to be. And it is going to be really rough for the Denver Broncos because this is not a season you look at and really – I don't know how you're going to find a lot of positives from it. No. It's a team that does not have a lot of draft capital. They have 8 picks. They have 1 first-round pick and a third-round pick. So it's not like they're going to be able to go out there and do a lot early in the draft. And it's a team that everyone's going to have to take a step back and say, this is a legit full rebuild year where I do not think you're going to see anything that you go, wow, look at that. That's awesome. This is going to be a rough season for the Broncos.
How much leeway does Sean Payton get? From ownership, he probably gets plenty. From the fan base
right now, from
you think so?
The people in charge.
Yeah, I mean, because they gave up so much to get him. They're paying him so much. Basically turn the whole thing over to him, right?
Yeah. And so he gets to come in and say pretty much like, hey, this team had a 300 net ranking when we came in, so we got work to do.
All right. Other stuff. NFL. Eric Kendrick will be a Cowboy instead of going to the 49ers. So the Niners did do something. He's a linebacker. He earlier on Wednesday, he agreed to a 1-year deal with the Niners, but he said he's coming to the Cowboys instead. That's according to ESPN. So they went out and did do something, the Cowboys, if that makes you feel any better. And it's a pretty good one. I mean, I think this is a pretty good move for them.
What's a guy that's, even as a veteran, he started 14 games last year for the Chargers, so you know he's going to be on the field. And that's really what Dallas needs in the middle of that defense. They need availability. They just need guys that can go out there and make plays. Kendricks did that last year for the Chargers, even a veteran guy. And the one thing with Dallas is, yeah, we have the conversation. We know it's going to be back and forth. Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones. They have their first 3 picks in the draft. They've been drafting pretty well recently, and they can't make splashy moves, but these are the moves around the edges that they need to make. And bring in a veteran linebacker. Someone's not going to get a ton of headlines, but it's a solid move, and it's someone that Mike Zimmer knows because he played in Minnesota with him for 7 seasons.
All right. Tennessee Titans made some moves yesterday. They added wide receiver Calvin Ridley, $92 million deal, 50 guaranteed. They went out and got Mason Rudolph. But people love them some Mason Rudolph, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I'm not sure I understand the Mason Rudolph love. Evidently, he's a really good guy in the locker room and whatever. But they went out and signed Mason Rudolph. It could be up to $3.62 million for 1 year. The Ridley thing's interesting, though, because if you're developing a young quarterback, and with Will Levis there, and you've got to give him a chance, don't you? And I think Calvin Ridley is a guy that gives him a chance. I think when I look at the roster and I say, all right, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, Treylon Burks, he's got a chance, right?
Yeah, so I like what they're doing for Will Levis. I do not think Calvin Ridley's that dude. Almost $100 million receiver.
It's a lot of money.
It is. It's a big move, but it's one that Titans. It's one that they had to probably overspend a little bit to make sure that they landed Calvin Ridley because they had a plan. And I always appreciate if you see a plan. And their plan is, you understand you have a young quarterback in Will Levis, and they went out and they got Tony Pollard to go in the backfield to move on from Derrick Henry. So they have Pollard and Spears in the backfield, bringing Calvin Ridley, as you mentioned, with DeAndre Hopkins still there. So they're insulating their young quarterback with a lot of talent. And so I'm okay with that. It's one I look and say, oh, man, that's a big number. But they're trying to do the right thing for their young quarterback. So I give them credit for executing that plan this offseason with what they've done in free agency.
I think if they get good quarterback play, they can compete in that division.
Absolutely.
I mean, I look around. Houston's nice. Jacksonville, I think, is good. Tennessee is right there. Indianapolis, by the way, Indianapolis signed Joe Flacco. You good with that?
Yeah, you lose Gardner Minshew to a big deal for backup quarterback Sanders to the Raiders, and you bring in Joe Flacco, which I think it's great because Anthony Richardson will be this will be rookie 2.0 for him because he hurt his shoulder. He hasn't been throwing a football. So what you want from Joe Flacco too is not just a guy that, hey, he can go out there and play solid enough football for you at this point in time, but help Anthony Richardson become a quarterback. Help him in the meeting room. Help him with film. All of those things that you need to have to be a good quarterback. It's not just about the talent. We understand that. All of us watching football long enough get it. And Joe Flacco can help Anthony Richardson with those other things to push him forward. And that's why if I was Cleveland, I would have loved to keep him around. It is wild that the Cleveland Browns, with Deshaun Watson, and understanding that sometimes with Deshaun Watson that you're stepping on eggshells, and they thought that the best thing to do is bring in Jameis Winston for that franchise and not try to bring back an adult Joe Flacco. Like, we're going to get this guy that eats W's and goes nuts every other day to pair it to Deshaun Watson. So I love the move from the Indianapolis Colts. A leader, a veteran. Hey, help Anthony Richardson figure out how to do this. If I'm Cleveland, I'm like, you guys.
That's why you're Cleveland.
What you're doing?
That's why you're Cleveland,
adding
right?
Jameis Winston to this?
I was shocked when that happened. I couldn't believe it because, you're absolutely right. Like, who's the adult in that quarterback room? It's insane. Of all the options, Jameis Winston was the best.
The quarterback coach is going to be up there, like, going through film. He's going to be getting hit with, like, spitballs. What was that?
You're totally right. You're totally right. I am shocked by that move because you're right. Flacco was a voice of reason. He came in and got wins when they needed it. They got him playoffs. That is surprising. But on
Jameis,
the Colts,
put your phone down. Put your phone down.
Quit scrolling, Jameis. Quit posting about what we're doing in the game plan today, Jameis.
Stop giving it away.
Yeah, stop giving it away, Jameis. I can't believe that.
What do you make of this Philadelphia Eagles stuff? They've got to deny now that they tampered impermissibly with Saquon Barkley. That Howie Roseman, their general manager, and Saquon spoke before and during the negotiating window Barkley agreed to the terms, right? What was it, 3 years, 37 plus. His former coach at Penn State, James Franklin, went out and suggested that Howie Roseman spoke to Barkley directly during the legal tampering period, which is not allowed. They're saying, no, I don't doubt this at all. I mean, legal tampering, but yet it's illegal tampering during the legal tampering period of the legal tampering period of the I absolutely believe it happened. I'm not sure I care that it happened, but I mean, how does legal tampering work? I can't talk to the GM, but who can I talk to?
Well, that means they talked before the start of this week. Like, this week was the quote-unquote legal tampering period. And it's one of those things that don't say the quiet part out loud. If you get caught, then the NFL is going to have to.
Because everyone's doing it?
Be like, oh. And that's what Kirk Cousins was worse. Because he straight up acknowledged in his introductory press conference his discussions with Atlanta's medical staff that couldn't have happened before Monday. And so it's one of those things that it's the NFL is going to be like, well, we can't ignore this now. They ignore it. The other times they're like, hey, just don't tell us. Don't make it too obvious. But then if you make it obvious, they're just like, oh, all right, we're probably going to have to go take a 6th-round pick for me now.
What are they going to do about it? Is that what it is? 6th-round pick?
It's something along those lines for the fine. They're like, oh, we have to do it. You made it too obvious.
I mean, I got to believe everybody's doing it. But we got legal tampering, but then there's illegal tampering and whatever. All right, 8 o'clock we'll hear from Jalen House and JT Toppin, conversations that I had here in Vegas with them after the game last night, getting ready to go into tonight's game against Boise State. When we come back, we'll dive into the Lobos a little bit more. What does it mean? What does the dominant win last night mean? A little bit more to me than just the score. We'll dive into that a bit next on the opening drive. On 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Presbyterian Healthcare Foundation for...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk,
Blasted. Intoxicated.
rip, plaster, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
He jumped out early, and JJ, I thought, did everything they needed to. It was the opening drive, Jefferson Vieta, JJ Buck. The Lobos, the game was 10-6, and the Lobos opened it up on a 19-6 run right there. Actually, it was 21-6 because they were up 31-15, and I thought at that point it was over. Petrides was really good for Air Force, as he always is. He scored damn near half their points. But JJ, to me, one of the key things when you're going to play 4 and 4 nights, to be able to rest guys, and Richard Pitino somewhat alluded to this after the game, that, look, we're here to try to win 4 games in 4 nights. And I was able to play 10 different dudes. You look at, Dent played 30 minutes. Mashburn played 18. House played 25. Toppin played 22. Nelly played 25, almost 26. I thought it was a big deal.
I agree. And I'm looking at tonight's game, going against Boise State for New Mexico, the only thing I think you're going to see Mashburn probably 20. But even with that, if you get Baker, Amsdale, and Washington in there, I think that's what the Lobos have to do. And they have to put the pressure back on Boise State. It's go right at their size. Off the dribble, try to get the post-ups. Boise State's going to be able to defend the Lobos differently than Air Force. They're a better basketball team. And we see what they did in the 2 matchups against New Mexico. But to your point, I liked what the Lobos were able to do, and that was to stay consistent with whoever was on the floor. They were aggressive. Everyone out there had the mindset of getting in the passing lanes, rebound the basketball. Lobos plus 20 on the boards, dominated off turnovers. The Air Force only turned it over 14 times, and yet Lobos put up 20 points off those turnovers. Really good game.
Yeah, really good. Lobos out rebounded Air Force 45-25. The offensive rebounds I thought were really key. 16 for New Mexico and 4 for Air Force. So there weren't a lot of second chances. This was a team that came out and said, "Look, man, we're better than you. We're not playing around. Yeah, you got our attention, no doubt, and we'll give that to you. You got our attention, but we're not playing." And they went out and took care of business. And I thought that was a big deal. All right, let me give you a couple of what you're saying. It's emails, Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. Gopher said, Mountain West hot take, Jeff, injuries, seeding, everything is breaking in the right direction for the Aztecs. to raise another championship belt in the Sin City air. So there's an injury. One of the Boone brothers, I think it's Caleb, who's not playing tonight. So for San Diego State, and if they win tonight, they get a Utah State team who is the number 1 seed. I don't think there's anything easy left in this tournament. Do you?
No, and that's devastating for UNLV. To have it's the Boone brothers and Thomas. So those are your top 3 players, and to go into a tournament without one of your best players, just what Kansas did, right? They sat 2 players, Hunter Dixon and Kevin McCullough Jr., and they got their doors.
Yeah, they got run last night. Yeah, they got run by Cincinnati.
Worst case scenario for UNLV.
Maury says, dream trip for Dickie P. Jeff, I was watching the game with some Boise State fans, and they were yelling at Air Force, make Lobo basketball, work for it, knock House on his arse. Joe Scott's guys aren't going to beat anyone going 7 for 28 from 3. Ethan Taylor 1 from 9 from the field. Flyboys just don't have the kind of athletes to overcome that. This was interesting. I caught some of Joe Scott. He's the Air Force coach. His post game, and JJ, I thought it was really interesting, and it's how Air Force is going to compete, not just in this league, but in any league going forward. And he talked about how he can't get in the transfer portal. He can't get older, right? And you hear people in college basketball all the time now saying, "Well, we got to get older." I mean, you got Jamal Baker, who's in his 7th year, he's 25 years old. Jalen House is in his 5th year. Jamal Mashburn's in his 4th. Now you got some young ones. And you really hit on a couple of freshmen and Donovan Denton, a sophomore. But he was saying the coaches in our league have done a phenomenal job of taking advantage of the system and going out and finding players. He says, if you're a good player, and he says, you pick it. You play somewhere under a good coach for a couple of years. You score 10, 12 points a game. And now you transfer into our league where there's really good coaches. He said, there's no way that me bringing in an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid can compete with that because they're so much further advanced. And he's not wrong. And I don't know that I felt it was a woe is me. I kind of listened to it as, man, Air Force is going to have a really, really hard time competing in basketball, let alone, and they've been good at football. But as NIL continues, I wonder how they continue to do that.
Football, it seems like they could find the stability just because those dudes are different. Those cats that they recruit for football, I don't think they're going to lose out on all of those guys moving forward. Basketball's always been a challenge. This is nothing new for Air Force. When was the last time they were really, really good?
A long time.
It's been a long time. And I know that with the transfer portal, it's the immediate eligibility, but it's a game that they still weren't playing before when players could transfer and sit out a year and then become eligible. So, yeah, I think basketball is something that Air Force isn't going to be competitive in because it's not hard to play against Princeton offense.
Well, because it's different.
They got how many games did they win? Like they were gigantic conference wins for them. They won 2 games.
Yeah. 2 games, is that what it was? Yeah. Yeah, they beat UNLV. They blew their doors off. And then they beat the Lobos by a point in the pit. Yeah. Sarah says, can we talk about the ladies, Jeff, with upsets? The way UNLV played, the rail really opened up for the Lady Lobos. Bradbury just didn't have enough team left to get there. It's going to be a long off season thinking about the missed opportunities. Sarah's still on the ladies, JJ, and I don't know, a few days later, how do you feel? Any differently?
No. By the way, your mute's not working. Just a heads up.
Oh, sorry, man. Damn it, it's red. Sorry, I caught a cold yesterday, and look, the red button's on. It's not working.
No, really? You're going through your laptop, not your headset. Just heads up.
Dang, dude, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. I just want to let you know that.
Yeah, no, that's probably good to know.
I'm right.
I'm sorry.
I feel the same way after I left Las Vegas, so I understand that one. On the women's side last night, San Diego State had that a 5-point game going into the fourth quarter. It's 42-37. Then UNLV goes on an 11-0 run to start the fourth quarter. The Lady Rebels just had a 7th gear. They had a level that the rest of the conference just couldn't reach, and that's 3 straight years where it's a regular season tournament title for UNLV.
Yeah, and I'm embarrassed now. I apologize. I caught this funk yesterday, and I hit the little red button was on. It was a mute. Yeah, tough one for them. By the way, UNLV beat San Diego State last night in the women's conference championship game. So it'll be the Rebels who get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. What kind of seed do they get? Because they're really good.
I think with the wins they have, so they have 2 good wins. They won at Oklahoma. They beat Arizona. Their net ranking, I still think, is like top 30. Like, they should be like a 6 or 7 seed.
Yeah. By the way, you know this game took an hour and 40 minutes last night?
It was flying.
Yeah. I mean, it moved. It moved. All right, we're going to hear at 8 o'clock. You'll hear from JT Toppin and Jalen House, conversations I had with them after the game last night. 8:30, CBS sports bracketologist Jerry Palm is going to be with us. Catch up with him and hear what he's got to say, and I'll let you know when we come back where the Lobos are in the bracket that he released today. We'll do that at 8:30 with Jerry Palm. Hey, you wear glasses, wear contacts. Windy season always impacts that stuff. And when I was wearing glasses and contact lenses, I was tired of it. And I called Dr. Stephen Coleman over at Coleman Vision. I went in and made an appointment, and I had LASIK done 20-plus years ago. And I tell you now, it's kind of one of the best things I ever did. It was life-changing for me. I had an astigmatism. I was wearing lenses and getting up early, anchoring news, and didn't want to do it anymore. And it changed my life. Look, this could be great for you. Who does LASIK? Look, on any given day, you walk into Coleman Vision, and it's doctors and lawyers and college kids and housewives and firefighters and police officers and nurses and healthcare workers and athletes, and it's you and me. It's just regular people who want to ditch the glasses and want to see better. You're going to hear stories throughout the month here on These Sports Animal. Mine's one of them. But the procedure's quick. Dr. Coleman will even let you watch him do it with another one of his patients. That'll give you the confidence you need. Call, make an appointment, 505-821-8880. 505-821-8880 or online at colemanvision.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help.
How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like this shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls.
Mike sent me an email that said, that might have been the grossest thing I've ever heard, Jeff Alou. They might pull one of your Broadcaster of the Year awards after that. Yeah, fair enough. I probably should give
We got to work on your headset because it's not
well, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like the settings are in the right place, and yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I honestly don't. Maybe it's, I mean, here, tell me this. Does this sound better to you right there? I mean, check on the air. See, it does it. Right? How about that one? Any better? I'll go through all the settings. Yeah. All right. There's no way Forsling, according to Dan, is back next year. Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Donald Clark. No way, right? He looks more lost now than the day he first walked on campus. I don't know. I mean, he's giving you what do you expect out of him at this point? What do you expect out of a guy who plays 5 minutes a month?
I don't know, man. It's some people have this weird idea about rosters that every dude that's sitting on a bench is going to be able to contribute, and that's not the case. Like Sebastian Forsling is a good teammate, a good practice player, a good Lobo, and he's someone that he wants to stick around and finish out his career next year. The coaching staff is happy to have him because he's not someone they have to worry about. He understands his role. He's not complaining about playing time. He's not out there like, oh, woe is me. Let me get mine. Let me get this. Let me get that. If he does want to go somewhere, try to play some minutes, best of luck. But him being on the end of the bench is no problem whatsoever for this Lobo team. And it's because when you look at what you can do and you look at the rotation, they got enough. Hoffman, Ellie Jr. Joseph, Safa Amsil, they're good inside.
I mean, I thought, and there was part of me that thought he was going to be one of those guys that developed, and I remember comparing him to Daniel Ferris, even Cam Bairstow, where when they got on campus as freshmen, they weren't good. And I watched those guys develop into all-conference players. Obviously, that's not going to happen here. You keep the body. Obviously, people love him, right? I mean, he seems like a great teammate.
Yeah.
Look
at what, even when we saw, the final home game and he was out there with Jamal Mashburn on the court, like, I don't know what people want from that dude sometimes. I get it. He's tall.
Yeah, you do.
It doesn't mean that every tall dude is going to be first round NBA drafted.
No, you kind of do know what people want. I mean,
I understand.
Right? All right, bracketology. Jerry Palm's going to be with us coming up in 41 minutes. But he's got his latest bracket. It came out this morning. First four in Dayton. New Mexico playing Seton Hall. Colorado versus St. John's. So the last four in New Mexico, Colorado, Seton Hall, and St. John's, according to him. First 4 out: Pittsburgh, Utah, Texas A&M, and Kansas State. Kansas State got a big win yesterday. They beat Texas. Now, Joe Lunardi, ESPN's bracketologist, has New Mexico in the first 4 out. So all I know is you're living in a tough spot. You're living in a bubble, and go out and win tonight. I mean, really, that's all I know. The Sports Illustrated guy was at the game last night. He's here in Vegas that does their brackets, and he said basically if they don't win, if the Lobos don't win tonight, it's about, and obviously there's not a lot of people left at Sports Illustrated, but he said it's about a 20% chance they get in. It depends what happens around the country. Last 4 in, according to Kevin Sweeney, who was here watching the game last night: New Mexico, Virginia, St. John's, Colorado, New Mexico. So, but he doesn't have Indiana State in. Indiana State's going to be really interesting, aren't they?
Yeah. That's going to be – I think Indiana State will probably be the one team that people will just end up screaming a lot about because that's a good
one way or the other
team, but if they get left out, that's a good basketball team that just doesn't quite have it on the resume. When you just look at the quad wins and the things that you need to do to stack up, and sometimes that happens, man.
Indiana State's a team that won their league, and they had injuries, right? I mean, they had injuries in the conference tournament and got beat. I don't remember who. Do you know who won that league?
No, they lost in the championship game to Drake.
Drake, that's who won it. Yeah, it was Drake. And again, Drake's not a bad team. It's a decent league, but when they were 17-3 in the league, 28-6 overall. I mean, if I'm them, I'm screaming too, man. They lost to Alabama. I'm just like, who'd they beat though? Dang. Yeah, I mean, they played a few. They just didn't beat anybody. They lost to Michigan State. They lost to Alabama. They lost to Drake a few times. Had a little tough run in their league. This is where, if you think, okay, let me ask you this. If it expands, and they're talking about going to, what, 74? Is that the number that I'm hearing? Does Indiana State get in, or is that just more Villanova, Kansas State, Utah?
That's a good question for Jerry Palm this morning. See what he would think of that.
Yeah, I think that's right. And it's kind of living right in his own backyard, right? Because I think New Mexico is going to be there. Where do you think the Mountain West is? Let's say the Mountain West stays constructed as it currently is, okay? Now, I don't know how long that's going to be. Is it a multi-bid league for years to come now? Have they graduated up to, I don't know, where the Big East is, or where, I mean, do they, because we're going to have a conversation next week. They've got to win some games in this thing, right? They get 4, 5, 6 teams in. They're going to have to win some games, right? But is this sustainable?
There's two conversations to be had. There's going to be the narrative, and then there's reality. And the reality is, when you build your resume, what you did last year doesn't matter.
Correct.
So there'll be the talking point of, oh man, this team only gets 5 teams in, and they only went 1 and 4. Okay, well that should not matter next year if the teams are in the same exact position.
Which is the conversation we had this time last year.
So which is, in that committee room, your job is what these teams did this year. Not going, well, we put 6 of these teams in last year, only 1 of them won. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
But, by the way, won all the way to the championship game.
But from a basketball fan's perspective, just from doing this job and fans out there, they're going to talk about that. Is, well, you get all these teams in, you didn't win. Well, it shouldn't matter. It's just about what you did that season.
I think I'm kind of going more, do you think it's sustainable to keep bringing players of this caliber in? I mean, there's really good coaches. I don't know how, I'm hearing rumors about every coach in this damn league right now as I walk around that media room yesterday. So, but do you think it's sustainable to keep playing at this level?
I think this is the high water mark. But I think more often than not, we're going to be looking at probably a 3-bid Mountain West.
Okay.
Maybe 3.5 is that number that we'll talk about.
Yeah. It's interesting because I mean, look, they're riding a high right now. I mean, they're riding a high and feel really good, and they should. They should be. But
I definitely think it being a multi-big league year in and year out for the foreseeable future is doable.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610. Bring them in. 888-922-0610 if you're still paying a toll for whatever reason. I think we'll take care of that for you. You're coming in on the text line. This one says, mark my words. Jalen has a monster game tonight. I ride or die with MASH, but he seems a little off. He's in his head, and I hope he shakes it off because we need the monster of the mid-range to make a run tonight, right now. I think they both played well tonight. I do. I thought they both played well last night. What did MASH shoot last night? 3 of 5. He only took 5 shots. When we come back, you're going to hear from Jalen House and from JT Toppin after the Lobos' 82-56 win last night in Vegas in the first round of the conference tournament. We haven't heard from either one of those guys much this year, have we?
Not really. Haven't.
Well, I sat down, had a conversation with both of them after that. We'll hear from Jalen House first, then we'll hear from JT Toppin. Jerry Palm's going to join us coming up at 8:30 from CBS Sports. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
We got Strauss, man. He said, grab a stack of towels and put them behind wherever you're sitting. It'll make you stop sounding like you're in the head. All right. Well, it's good to know. Strauss says, Lobos win tonight and we go dancing. It's going to happen. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. Lobos win last night, 82-56. Good win, dominant win, necessary win, and survive and advance. JJ, forget about it. Move on to the next one, right?
Yep. What you do, life on the bubble means the next one is the biggest one, and the season hinges on Boise State tonight.
Yeah. All right. I spoke after the game. We'll hear Jalen House first and then JT Toppin. House was really good last night. He had 16 points on 6 of 13 shooting, controlled the pace, only played 25 minutes. And I say only because they were able to sit players. But here's what Jalen, and we're going to allude to the award. When I allude to the award in here, it's the Defensive Player of the Year award. And keep in mind, he won the Defensive Player of the Year on the media ballot, but did not win on the coaches ballot. And obviously, that meant something to him. Here's Jalen House last night after the game.
Well, you sure as heck weren't ready for a 10 tonight, were you?
Yeah, I was very ready tonight. We had to pay them back for what happened last time.
You set the tone, and I say you. I mean, you collectively, like the instead as you, right? The you as a team. But you obviously had something, and early on there was a lot of energy. Talk a little bit about that and what the prep was tonight.
Just trying to come out to the game, be myself, be as confident as possible, and trying to get our team to win. That's really all it was.
How much do you guys talk about what happened before? I mean, the Air Force game, I know everybody in the world seems to be talking about it. Did you even have to talk about what happened in the pit a few weeks ago?
Yeah, because I feel like we wasn't taking it as serious at first in practice, and then I feel like once we started getting it going in practice, everybody started taking it serious, and we came out and dominated today.
Once it get hit in the face, I guess you don't need to be reminded, huh?
Yeah, honestly, you don't need to be reminded.
Yeah. Defensively, I thought you were terrific, and obviously the award's great. What does the award mean? Does it mean something? It's got to mean something to you.
It definitely does. I mean, I don't know how you're the Naismith player or one of the 15 finalists for Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, and you don't win your conference. So I just don't understand that. So we'll see what happens this week, though.
You win it on the media side and don't win it on the coaches side, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, the coaches one is the one that really matters. But I don't know how you're not Defensive Player of the Year when you're a top 15 defensive player in the country.
I think I completely agree with you. I see you shaking your head. All right, Boise State tomorrow. They beat you twice this year. It's a big physical team, especially on the perimeter. Talk a little bit about what you got to do differently to get them tomorrow. Keep this thing going because obviously tomorrow's huge.
I mean, we just got to be physical right back. You know, I think we just let them bully us a little bit the first few times. So, you know, just trying to come out, be physical as possible. Obviously, making shots, making the right plays, playing, but most importantly, playing defense and rebounding.
How much? Jalen House is our guest in another big game for Jalen tonight. Is he had a terrific game, set the tone, and had 16 points in the Lobos' big win over Air Force. NCAA tournament, you talk about it? Is it something you have to talk about? I mean, obviously, that's the goal, and everybody tells you if you win tomorrow, you're in.
Of course, we're talking about it. You know, I haven't been to the NCAA tournament, so, you know, it's a big thing that I've wanted to do my entire college career. So I'm trying to harp on these guys like, yo, this is important to me. So I'm just trying to make sure everybody on the same page.
I want you to hit on that because Lobo fans have been vocal and whatever, say what they say. I said on our show last week, you don't want it as a fan more than these guys do. You may love the Lobos. You may be a Lobo. These guys want to go. And I used you specifically. This is a fifth-year guy, and you haven't been to the dance. Nobody wants to go more than you do.
Hell yeah. I mean, I've been in college 5 years. the first 2 years here, we didn't make the tournament. So, I mean, it's only right that we make the tournament this year. I mean, I'm doing all I can, and I don't know. The fans obviously know that we're playing hard, but that's how fans are. When you're not doing well, they going to get mad. And when you're doing well, they give you all the praise. So, I mean, I can't really get mad at Lobo fans for that because that's how every fan base is. And, we appreciate them for coming out. They show love just now. There was a whole bunch of people out there. They got us going a little bit. So, I mean, it's good to have them still. I mean,
passion works both ways.
Yeah, honestly. That's the truth. But I just think they help us too, though. So, I don't have anything bad to say about the Lobo fans.
Man, they were great and they showed out today. How about that crowd?
Amazing.
Getting it done tomorrow. Good luck. Great
you.
game today. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Jalen House with Jeff Symbieta post-game yesterday, and everything Jalen said was right on. And him talking about passion both ways. And it's something we've discussed, and it got a little loud, and even when it's a quote-unquote vocal minority, it's hard to wrap your head around that sometimes. But I thought that was a fantastic conversation with Jalen. He was measured. And what was interesting is, so that was the first time I heard that. But right after yesterday's game, I put out there, on Twitter, my thought was, the Lobos have to attack Boise State. They have to go right at their size. Like the Lobos can't look at this game and say, hey, we're going to play fast, we're going to get out and run, because UNM has not shown that they can slow down Boise State. So they have to play a little bit of the Broncos game tonight. That's what House said. Like they have to be ready to be physical.
What do you think of his candor? Both what the award means to him. Like, obviously, he was bothered. The Lamont Butler won Defensive Player of the Year by the coaches, and that he didn't. I thought his candor about, we had to bleep it a couple times, but I'm okay with that. Excuse me. Where he said, man, this is my last year. I want to go to the NCAA tournament. And that's kind of what I've been saying. As much as the local fan wants to go, man, you don't want to go more than those guys do. Like you want to go a lot, but those guys, tell me that young man doesn't care.
Oh, he absolutely cares. And with, and that's the thing with Jalen House is I get it. And, he's a polarizing basketball player, but this is a dude that you want on your team because of the effort that he plays with. He cares. Like, not everything's going to be perfect, but he's a guy that is going to do what's needed to try to ignite everyone else on this roster. And I'm excited for this game tonight because I think for UNM, how they adjust, the coaching staff, kind of the lessons that they've learned from the Boise State games, really the lessons over the last 2 weeks, getting this team prepared, what it's going to take. Richard Pitino, in terms of what his rotation is going to look like tonight against the Broncos, because you're going to need Jalen House. You're going to need Mashford. It's about JT and Nelly inside, because these guys are the reason you're here, and they're going to have to be the reason that you're competing against Boise State.
All right, JT, you mentioned JT Toppin, a freshman, played his first collegiate postseason game yesterday. I got to catch up with him in the locker room after the game and had this conversation.
Well, welcome to postseason college basketball. Any different than regular season ball?
No, it's really the same.
Did you notice any more physicality? Maybe tomorrow you will. Pressure, anything, or just into the basketball game?
Yeah, I noticed a little bit more physicality. They foul more, but we play tough, so we ready for it.
18 points, 11 rebounds, and again, 6 offensive rebounds. You guys dominated the boards. I thought one of the biggest things you did is keep them off the offensive boards. You had second chance points. They didn't.
Yeah, when we rebound, we're unstoppable, literally. So we just got to keep rebounding, stay tough, and stay on the glass on the defensive side.
Rebounding is a mindset. I mean, I never coached the college level. I played high school ball, but coached AU. Even when your shot's not going, what is the mindset? Why are you such a good rebounder, JT?
I love rebounding. So, I just say I'm going to get every rebound I possibly can. And it's really, I don't know, it's really just an instinct. I just feel where the rebound's going, so I go to it. So, yeah, that's really, it just comes off the head.
Nobody says I love rebounding, man. I think that's special.
Yeah, no, it is. One of my favorite players is Dennis Rodman. So, I just like the way he rebounded. And he wasn't really that tall, but he had long arms, same like me. So, yeah, my favorite thing to do is really rebound.
How important was it, and JT Toppin's with us, how important was it to come out tonight and establish it early, not put this thing in doubt, run away? And I don't want to say cruise because I didn't play. I know it's not easy, but it was convincing. How important was it to get out quick?
It was really important. We knew we was going to have to come play hard tonight, just put our foot on their necks because, we didn't want to play with them. We just trying to get all these wins in the tournament. So, yeah, we had that mindset.
Here comes Boise State tomorrow. They beat you twice. They're physical. They're big. What is it about them, and where is it? I mean, I know you feel you can beat those guys. What do you have to do differently?
We got to rebound. We got to box out.
You love to rebound, I heard.
Yeah, we got to box out. Their guards are coming to us. So, we just got to stay physical on the defense and offensive glass, and we'll be straight.
Yeah. NCAA tournaments, I don't know how much you guys are talking in tournament, right? Probably if you win tomorrow, you're going to the big dance as a freshman. Do you talk about it? Do you feel about it? Or again, how do you treat it like just another game?
Yeah, I treat it just like another game. I don't really try to think about it because, then you start getting in your head. I just wait till I'm there. So, yeah, I really just don't think about it and keep playing the next game.
How much fun are you having? It's hard to quantify it. It's a hard way to ask the question. But as you came in, did you know you were going to be this good? Because you look like you enjoy playing basketball at this level.
I didn't know I was going to have this type of year I was having. But, I worked hard, prayed on it. And, it came to me. Having an exciting season. It's fun, amazing.
Feels like a fun group of guys to be around, and it's going to be a whole lot more fun if you can put on dancing shoes, huh?
Yeah, no, we got to. We're going to do it.
Right, go get them. Congratulations on the win over Air Force. Good luck tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
JT Toppin, after the game last night, he had 18 points, 11 rebounds, another double-double for the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year. And confident young man, JJ, I don't think even he could have thought he was going to be this good, have this kind of year.
Not at all. You come in with a sense of confidence in your ability, but knowing, the work that you have to do to get in the rotation. And this coaching staff, they like JT Toppin. I think he's going to be starting power forward, breaking double-double records, putting up a double-double first round of the Mountain West tournament. It's been a home run for the Lobos.
Yep. All right, 505-246-0610. You can respond to what you heard. You heard from Jalen House. You heard from JT Toppin. I thought both of them were pretty candid in their remarks, and certainly House. And I don't think he was just disparaging about the fans. His fans are fans.
No, he was honest about
it. That's how it is. And no doubt bad word to say about it. I'll tell you what, Lobo fans showed out yesterday with Thomas and Mack. They were there. They got more plane loads of them coming in here today.
It was
kind of how it always
fun
is,
to
right?
see. It was fun to see.
Kind of how it always is. All right, I want to hear from you when we come back. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
Dated bracket out today. Text line 505-246-0610. It says if you are looking to bet the Lobo Boise State game, it's an absolute toss-up in the money line. Vegas knows how much of a dogfight this is going to be. Team with the ball, last possession, probably takes it again. Travis. Let me see the spread. Is it pick 'em? I'll find it for you.
Yeah, 1.5 in favor of Boise State.
Boise State. Yeah, Boise State. All right, we got a problem, JJ. It is Jaromir Jagr bobblehead night in Pittsburgh tonight. Jaromir Jagr, of course, the great Pittsburgh Penguin. However, there will be no bobbleheads at Jaromir Jagr bobblehead night. How can that be? The shipment that was carrying the Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads has been stolen after it arrived in California. They're victims of cargo theft. So they'll hand them out. They'll hand out vouchers tonight. Quote, "We were shocked to be a victim of cargo theft, and we're working closely with the local and federal authorities on the investigation." JJ, what do you think the thieves thought when they right? They pulled this off the ship and like, what did we get? All right, we got electronics, we got TVs. What are we gonna? The hell is this?
Bobblehead.
Who the hell is this guy? Some guy with a mullet?
A legend.
What sport is that? Yeah.
Jagr.
No bobbleheads tonight for them. Jaromir Jagr bobblehead.
Well,
night.
the market gets flooded with Jagr bobbleheads. We know where
Then
they're
you'll
coming
know.
from.
Then you'll know. Yeah. A couple things out of last night also. Hey, what did you think of the minutes True Washington got? They brought True Washington up to the podium after the game, by the way. Richard Pitino did. 14 points, 3 rebounds. He played 20, almost 21 minutes. I thought really valuable minutes for True Washington last night, and I thought he played well.
I agree. I think going into tonight's game with Baker and Washington, I'd like to see both those guys around. Probably Baker play more like 14 minutes in this game. I'd like to see True probably 18 minutes because you need some of that size, you need that physicality. And the one thing with True Washington is when he is flowing and he kind of understands that he needs to be a defensive first guy, he can get some stuff in transition, doesn't need to shoot every time he touches the basketball, good things happen. And I'm expecting that the Lobos, they look at those first 2 matchups and they realize that playing a run and gun basketball with Boise State, not great. And I know the Lobos, up-tempo team, they want to get out and run, but they haven't shown that they can slow down Boise State. So if you're able to get some turnovers, get out and go, awesome. But I don't think that's going to be easy for the Lobos to do tonight. So I want to see them slow it down a little bit. You can still play with tempo while attacking a half-court set. What that comes from, it's a dribble drive offense. It's pass the ball quicker around the perimeter, getting those post touches, cutting off the post touches. And it goes back to what Jalen House said. They understand that for them to be successful in this game, they have to raise their level of physicality against Boise State. And yeah, you have to play a little bit of Boise State's game because you played 2 games where you were not able to turn the tide in your favor.
What are you most concerned when Boise State has the ball? Rice gets hot against New Mexico. Stanley's been good. Degenhardt's been terrific. The point guard's been really good. Like, they hit you from everywhere, Boise State does.
It's just matching that physicality. I mean, being able to get a defensive rebound, contest them inside. And that's the thing, because with Boise State, it's not just, Stanley and Degenhardt. It's what you said. It's what they got on the perimeter. And it's leaning on House and Mashburn. So help defense is going to be big. And so when you're helping, are you leaving the backside open or able to recover on that? And it's something I've said all year long with this team. And I think the most important piece to this puzzle is Nelly Jr. Joseph. And it's Nelly Jr. Joseph being that Swiss Army knife inside. Contesting shots, grabbing rebounds, the ability to hedge on the ball screens, use their size on a perimeter. And I think that's going to be big for the Lobos is Toppin and Nelly Jr. Joseph being all over the place defensively, not just walling up inside, maybe trap a little bit on the perimeter and try to get Boise State, pass in uncomfortable passing situations.
Yes. I think also you need to stay out of foul trouble, because especially at the bigs. I mean, House and Mashburn too, but Nelly and Toppin have got to stay out of foul trouble because of the depth there. I like Amsil. I just don't know that I like him guarding Degenhardt or Stanley, and that's who he'd have to guard. And so I think you've got to stay out of foul trouble.
Of course. This is the game where if Amsil, you want to see just the effort, the ability to compete on the defensive end, but we know when he's on the floor, his advantage is going to be on the offense. Even against, Boise State can match him up athletically, but that's where you say, hey, stretch the floor, you hit some outside shots, try to pull Boise State away from the rim and just compete defensively in the minutes you're on.
All right, we are in Vegas, or at least I am. JJ was here earlier in the week. It's the conference tournament, and those conversations that you hear and that kind of stuff, that content, we're here because of our partners who make sure that we're here. I want to say thank you to Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor, Frontier Restaurant, an Albuquerque tradition for more than 50 years, DSI Document Solutions Incorporated, New Mexico. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. Coleman Vision, perfect game. And airport parking, easier, quicker, and smarter. When we come back, he's in his zone now. I mean, he's on TV every day. He's combing his hair. He's wearing suits. Jerry Palm is the bracketologist at CBS Sports, and he put out his latest bracket this morning. Where are the Lobos? Where's everybody else? And what do people got to do? We're going to catch up with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports next. Do the Lobos have to win tonight? He'll tell you next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. folks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Utah State in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. We'll play Fresno State, 1 o'clock Mountain Time. UNLV, San Diego State, Nevada, Colorado State, and the Lobos at Boise State. The late game, 9:30, back home in Albuquerque. I'm here in Vegas. JJ is in downtown Borque. It's the opening drive. Jeff Subieta, JJ Buck. We catch up with our good buddy Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, who is, I don't know, maybe the most popular guy in America right now. Where are you, in Connecticut, New York? Where are you?
I am in Connecticut, yes. I don't know how popular I am.
Yeah. People want to know what you say.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, it's absolute truth. How often are you changing the bracket? Is it every game now? That like
No,
every game
not
with
yet.
one of these teams? No.
It's every day. So I did an update today. Most of the action is still in the one bid leagues and at the bottom of the bracket. That'll really kick in today. We have 4 double bubble games today, where the loser may not make it, and that varies by each game and where they currently stand, and the winner may not make it either. So, it's the winner just has an opportunity to try and get the kind of a game that they need to make it, and so that's the way it is. Life on the bubble this time of year. The only sure thing's the sure thing.
All right, New Mexico's playing Boise State. Does New Mexico have to win tonight to get in? That's A. And B, if they win tonight, are they in?
If they win tonight, yes, they're in. If they may not have to win tonight to get in, but then you're at the mercy of what other teams do. So the real key was not losing again to Air Force.
Yes.
But the Boise State win, that's a good win off your home court, which, the Lobos have several wins off their home court, but all but one of them are quad 3 and 4. So, this is a chance to get a second, good win in the league, which has fortunately a lot of opportunities for good wins, and to do so off your home court. And that's why beating Boise State would put them then in the field.
We were sitting in that arena yesterday. The game before New Mexico Air Force was Colorado State, San Jose State. And at the under 4 timeout, it was tied. San Jose State had momentum, and I'm thinking the whole place was starting to pucker. Would Colorado State, were they on a chance of getting knocked out if they'd have lost to San Jose State?
No, I don't think they'd have gotten knocked out. I just don't think they'd have liked their seed. I have to say the Colorado State profile is bland.
Yes.
In fact, I just got done describing Virginia's that way. Colorado State has got, they've done okay. It's just not the kind of thing that really, where they're kind of moving the needle. But they've got enough good wins. They beat Creighton on a neutral floor. That's a big deal. And they've got 2 wins off their home court. But there's nothing outstanding on here,
right.
And there's nothing that says we absolutely have to leave them out.
And they're the 7th seed in their league. He's Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, and right now they're bracketologist. He's with us on the Sports Animal.
And Jerry, and you look at the Mountain West, and this tournament is wild. When you look at the semifinals, and we could see Utah State versus San Diego State or UNLV. When you look at Utah State and SDSU, what kind of are their ceilings, seed line wise, if they're a team that is able to advance to the finals or win the conference?
Yeah, there's only so much you can do. Teams aren't generally moving 2 seed lines now in conference tournament play, even if you win it, just because of the there's a lot of good teams around you, and most of them are winning games too. They're not all winning their conference, but most of these teams are going to play at least into their tournament a little bit. So there's not a ton of upward mobility. I think one team out there that does have the potential for some significant upward mobility, which is Kentucky, who I've got as a 4. If they were to win the SEC tournament, which has got a lot of high-level teams in it, a lot of top four seed type teams in it, and playing the best teams they could the whole way, they could get as high as a 2. But even that's only 2 seed lines, right?
Yeah.
So you're not looking at anybody jumping from like a 9 to a 7, or a 9 to a 5 or something like that in a conference tournament situation.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, with us, and Jerry, one of the things you've taught us all the years that we get to talk to you is this stuff is day to day, and today, looking at the teams you have on the bubble, it is a gigantic day because Pittsburgh plays Wake Forest, St. John's plays Seton Hall, Colorado plays Utah. Just giant bubble games.
4 double bubble games today. 4. You mentioned 2 of them: Iowa, Ohio State, Utah, Colorado, Wake Forest, Pitt, and Seton Hall, St. John's, which is actually considered a home game for St. John's because it's in Madison Square Garden, where they play several home games. So it's considered their home floor, even though they don't control tickets. That they won't have the home crowd advantage, or even close to it, against Seton Hall. So tough home crowd for St. John's today. But yeah, so that's 4 games where the loser probably doesn't make it. Although I wouldn't rule out Seton Hall entirely, and the winner may not make it either. They just get a chance to get the kind of win where they do. Like the Seton Hall St. John's winner gets UConn. Okay, well, you beat UConn. Now you've got something. Iowa Ohio State winner gets Illinois. So these are teams where now you get one of the top teams in your league. The Wake Pitt winner could get Carolina. That's how you make your hay. That's how you punch your tickets, get that game. But you have to win the first one to get a shot at the second one.
Jerry, I want to ask you about the Indiana State thing. They win the Missouri Valley Conference. They lose the conference tournament to Drake. They're 28-6. Their resume is probably below bland, I would imagine. A, do you think they get in? And B, if the tournament expands, let's say the number is 74, is it more opportunities for a team like Indiana State, or is it more Utahs and Seton Halls and Villanovas and those sorts of teams?
If they expand the tournament, they are not expanding the tournament for Indiana State. That doesn't mean that in a year like this they would be able to take advantage of it, but we don't have a lot of teams like that. It's not like we've got a couple of one bid league type teams every year that would be able to take advantage of this. They're expanding to put in more mediocre big conference teams.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Indiana State would take advantage of it this year. They might get in anyway. I mean, when they lost, I was just like writing them off. I thought, this is not the kind of a resume that normally gets in. And then I went back and looked a little bit. I found Belmont in 2019 and was a controversial selection then. And their resume is not as good then as Indiana State's is now. So I'm kind of reconsidering it. I'm like everybody else. I would much rather see Indiana State in this tournament than any of these mediocre bubble teams.
I think we've had these conversations over the years.
Feel that way, and I'm trying really hard to set aside the fact that I live in Indiana and would like to see Indiana be successful.
But we've had these conversations over the years where New Mexico State had gaudy records when they were playing in the WAC, right? They'd be like 28-3, and if they don't win their tournament, they may not get in, right? You could have a 28-3 team and they don't get in, and but if they expand, you don't think there's any more opportunities for those sorts of teams? Is kind of what you're saying.
I just don't think we have a lot of those kinds of teams every year.
Yeah.
We've got one this year. Unless Grand Canyon loses, we might have two. But, it's some years we don't have any. But that's not why they're expanding. They're not expanding to get these teams in. That's not
100%,
why.
100%.
They're expanding to get more money for the big conferences. That's why they're expanding.
That's who will make the decisions. He's Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, Jerry, Kansas went into the Big 12 tournament. Kevin McCullough Jr., Hunter Dickinson were not playing. They lost to Cincinnati. How should Kansas be feeling ahead of the NCAA tournament?
I don't know, banged up, I guess, because, McCullough and Dickinson are supposedly going to play, but are they going to be 100%? McCullough hasn't really been 100% all year. He's still their leading scorer. He still plays well. Dickinson, they really count on those guys, and they have no depth, as they showed last night. They showed all year, but in particular last night, they got run by Cincinnati because they don't have any depth. And, you take the two best players off of most teams, you're going to have problems. But Kansas seems to have more. And for a team that recruits as well as they do, how could they not have depth? But they don't. And so their margin for error in the NCAA tournament is pretty small. Most years I trust Kansas. This year I don't.
Lobo fan watching games today, who do they want to lose to make themselves feel better? I guess it doesn't matter between Colorado and Utah.
The double bubble games don't really matter to New Mexico because there's going to be a winner. So it's really the other bubble teams in action like Virginia, A&M,
St. John's,
teams like that. Anybody else that's a bubble team in action. I think there's 6 of them. Villanova. Villanova's in trouble anyway. They might have
they damn near got beat.
Win their tournament to get in. So anybody else that you think is on the bubble, you're rooting against. But the double bubble games don't matter because there's a winner and a loser.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter to New Mexico who that is.
Villanova damn near gets beat by a team that was on a 19-game losing streak yesterday. They need a three-pointer with 8 seconds to go to beat DePaul.
Easily. One of the worst. I mean, Louisville last year and DePaul this year are two of the worst major conference teams ever by a lot.
They damn near beat them.
Think of anybody else. I'll probably have to go back and look at my numbers sometime and check the rankings and see where some of these others were. I think those are the only 300s I can recall. It's like in the 300s of whatever ranking of the day was. And in fact, Villanova dropped 7 spots in the net after winning that game.
By winning. Yeah, it's crazy.
And their strength of schedule dropped 9 spots just playing that game.
And they damn near lost it. Lastly,
it should have, really.
We had a conversation earlier. This Mountain West season is special, and they're running this hashtag Get Six In, and they may. How sustainable is that? And I ask you that with the coaches in this league, where this league is, can they continue to be, maybe not a power league, but I mean, I don't think it's arguable. Outside of the Power Six, this is the best league, and they're better than some of the power leagues. How sustainable is it for them with the venues, with the locations, with the coaches? Yeah, at the top. Yeah.
I would say the sustainability depends on the ability to retain the coaches. You know, I
think that's right.
If it's still a league where people are poaching your best coaches, then it's hard to be sustainable. So that, to me, is going to be, like Dutcher at San Diego State's been there a while. Probably going to be there a while,
Yes, he is.
But so the coaches of your best teams, you have to keep those coaches in the league so that they can continue, so there's continuity among the better programs in the league.
Yeah,
that's how they sustain that success, is by keeping their coaches.
Yeah, the Steve Alfords, the Richard Patinos, the Nico Medveds, those guys.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll be watching.
Nice job at Nevada. Leon Rice.
Yep, done a great job. All right, we're watching. You'll be on TV like everywhere I turn, right, over the next few days?
Yeah, today I'm on CBS Sports HQ, and then I head down for Sports Network over the weekend. I don't know if I'll make it on the big CBS or not. I don't usually, but you never know. If something comes up, I might.
All right. Well, we're watching, and really appreciate you finding time for us. You gonna be around next Thursday? You gonna be at a site? Where you gonna be?
Yeah, I will be in Indianapolis. The games there are Friday, Sunday, so should be no problem.
Beautiful. All right, we'll catch up with you next week. Always appreciate you. We're reading you every day. Follow him on the X at JP Palm CBS. He is Jerry Palm, the guy. He's a terrific broadcaster. Picada. He's terrific, and we're listening every day. All right, man. Be well. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Jerry Palm. All right. So he said if they win today, they're in. They're not necessarily out if they don't, depending what happens elsewhere.
Yeah, that's life on the bubble. There's not it's not completely black and white, because there's so many other things that could happen. There could be a handful of bubble teams that fall the next couple of days that pushes you up. There could be others that go on a run. And so all you can do is take care of your own business. You got to find a way to be Boise State.
All right, respond to what Jerry had to say about the sustainability. I've got something to talk about, and he talked about the coaches. And I'll give you a little cycle that this league went through. And I think he's right. I think that's a huge piece of it, is can you retain your coaches in regards to the sustainability of this league's success. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples print.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Hey, Jerry Palm finding some time for little old us when it is busiest time of the year. JJ, the sustainability thing on Mountain West basketball, and this isn't new. He said, I think it's sustainable if you can retain the coaching, and I don't know that you can. Okay, Brian Dutcher's not going anywhere. He was signed in San Diego State, and the buyouts, and he's finishing his career at San Diego State. I look around, and I think Nico Medved's done a really good job at Colorado State. Leon's done a great job at Boise State, Alford, Patino, no particular order, right? But there's paydays out there. And the reality is that somebody can come in and offer north of $3 million, and you can't. And I go back to when the last time the Mountain West was really good. And I looked at the coaches, and it was Steve Alford at New Mexico, and I think Mark Fox was at Nevada, and Lon Kruger at UNLV, Steve Fisher at San Diego State, Larry Eustachy at Colorado State. You had really good coaches in this league. High-level, respected coaches that were in this league for whatever reason they were in this league. And when they all scattered, the league took a little bit of a dip. I think he's dead on the coaching thing.
Yeah, that helps a lot, even in the NIL world, having a coach that can put a team together, navigate the off-the-floor, on-the-floor stuff, put a game plan together. Recruiting in NIL is still a thing because you got to get the athletes interested in your school to then take a look at what you have. The top of the conference is interesting because, Dutcher's not going anywhere. Leon Rice isn't going anywhere. Like that.
You sure?
Yeah. Because he's had really good teams, and he's still there.
Yeah, he's up for every job. I hear a lot of his name for the Washington job, but that doesn't mean he's going.
There's been opportunities before, and that hasn't happened.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't mean it won't happen, but I feel confident in saying, Dutcher, Rice are going to be there. Steve Alford, I think, is going to be in the Mountain West, whether it's at Nevada or...
If Richard leaves... Cool. Well, no, let's just say it, man. I know what you're... I mean, if Richard left, and look, I don't know how the buyout would go and all that, would Lobo fan want Alford back? Oh, that'll get the phones ringing. By the way, you've been really quiet coming off a big win in a conference tournament today. 505-246. You think so? Oh, they're all here in Vegas. You. Yeah, they're all here in Vegas. Going up. I know. Not for long. They're all here in Vegas. How do you think Lobo fan would feel? Are they over that?
I don't know, because they love the fact that you can go at Steve Alford and beat him when he's head coach in Nevada. But that is not an impossible scenario.
I mean, Richard's here, and he's here for as long as probably he wants to be here, right?
Yes.
Okay, I make that very clear. But I hear Lobo fan, and somebody came up to me again with it yesterday at the arena. Hey, if Patino takes that DePaul job, he's not taking DePaul, I don't think. Well, I hear he's up for Louisville. Okay. If he takes that job, do you think the Lobos could get Alford back? Like, is that what you want? Well, I don't know. I think so. Right? And you've heard it before. It's not the first time anybody's asked us that.
No, it's not.
Damn. Boy, that'd be something, wouldn't it? He likes the golf courses here. All right, we're going to replay, if you missed it, and there's a good chance you did, conversations I had after the Lobo win last night with both Jalen House and JT Toppin in the locker room after the win over Air Force. Good stuff, and two guys we don't get to hear from very often. And I'm glad we got that. JJ, I've been trying to get players on all year, and I'm glad we got this opportunity. So We'll do that coming up at 9:30. Reset at the top. Oh, there's a lot of NFL stuff that you need to get into. And I want your thoughts on the win last night, man. They went out and took care of business. They had to win like that. They did win like that. How do you feel? 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Ortega over on News Radio KKOB after the Lobo game. Lobos Boise State Conference quarterfinals. According to CBS Sports' Jerry Palm on our show about 10 minutes ago, New Mexico is in with a victory. They will be into the NCAA tournament. If they do not win, they still have an opportunity, but things got to break their way, and most likely would end up in Dayton, right? I mean, he didn't say that, but I think that's kind of where that ends up at that point.
That's where it would be trending at that point, yeah.
Yeah, all right. You've been really quiet, Lobo fan, today. A big win, 82-56 last night.
You know why?
And because they're sleeping? Because
they're all hanging out with you.
Well, they didn't do much.
Why is this guy talking in the other room so much? Does he know what time it is?
I know, probably. Right, I know they're right next door. You get that all the time too on the West Coast, huh? You're in your hotel rooms. I know. Text line
rooms that are connected. Then I was put like pillows against the door, just try to buffer it a little bit or something.
Yeah, I got one over there.
Have you guys ever had someone say something to you for that? Talking
No.
for 3 hours first thing in the morning?
No, I mean, it's 6 o'clock in Vegas. It hurts, right? I mean, there are probably people next door just going, what the hell, right?
That's why sometimes if it happens here Friday on the road, it's a...
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not getting a knock on the door.
Security comes.
Hell, you do it
down.
Yeah, but I mean, in this town, somebody may show up. Somebody call?
Hello. Oh, okay.
I don't even know what that means.
What are you talking about?
I don't even understand. Text line, Alfred back at UNM to coach his basketball team again, you ask? Hell no. Okay. I did ask. Just asking.
We asked the question. It's on the poll. Put it on the poll.
Just asking. Look, I don't want to put it on a poll because the job's not open. Richard Pitino's your coach, and I think he'll be your coach as long as he wants to be your coach.
That's a poll question.
Yeah.
Just a percentage.
Bourne says, what am I missing, Jeffy Lube? Global Basketball is a 1.5 point favorite over a club that beat them twice and has had a week to rest and prepare. I'll be disappointed if Fried Rice guys don't win by 10 or 12. Didn't you tell me UNM's the dog?
Yeah.
All right. That's what you missed, Bourne. They're 1.5 dogs. UNM, I'm gonna double check it too.
Yeah,
even though
looked at that 2 different spots, has Boise State 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, all right. So you're not missing anything. I mean, what are you missing? Now, if you expect it to be 10.5. Yeah. Boise State is your favorite tonight. By the way, they'll be wearing the whites. I kind of like the turquoise. You think the Lobos will wear red? I'm sorry, cherry or turquoise? I love the turquoise.
Probably turquoise. They won in them yesterday.
No, they lost in the turquoise up in Logan. They wore white yesterday.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Boise State 1.5 point favorite. The over under is 153.5. So that's your number. This is from Lars. He said the basketball gods, Hefe. What has been the number one complaint of OD callers this year? The late game times. Well, Thursday, that's today, is the Board of Regents meeting. It's the biggest brouhaha where they decide how much they're going to jack up tuition fees next year. So it can't be missed. If Little Basketball plays that day, the Skirts and Suits who put together this schedule, which forced the rest of us to miss games, they didn't put together the schedule, aren't going to be able to travel to the tournament at State of New Mexico taxpayer expense to watch the game. So if Little Basketball plays on Friday, you'll see a mad rush to the airport after the meeting, private jets waiting. What goes around comes around. I'm going to tell you, you can blame it on whoever you want. I'm good with that. But the people who are starting games at 8:30 aren't the Regents at the University of New Mexico. At some point, you gotta get over it, and I know it's not easy. You just gotta understand it. Now, 9:30 tonight's a little late. 10 o'clock tomorrow's late. But every game's on TV, man. Every game is on TV. You want to be on TV, right? Everybody wants to be able to watch their game.
There's a lot of basketball they're trying to put on television right now, and you're in a Pacific time zone, and thus you're going to get the late window.
Yep. Even though all your teams aren't in the Pacific time zone, the site is in the Pacific time zone, and so it'll be 9 o'clock here. Yeah, tomorrow night we don't start till 6:30. 6:30 and 9 o'clock with the semifinal games. And the Pac-12 is on the same schedule, by the way. up the street. Did go up there yesterday. Went over to T-Mobile, saw a little of USC and Washington. SC came back on Washington, beat them. LeBron James's wife gets a escort right there to the front. It was the second row, right on the baseline, as she should. I mean, when you're the king's wife, that makes you the queen, right?
Yes, it does.
Right, and so if you're the queen, I mean, you should get a royal escort. It just feels about right. So yeah, it was good energy over there too, and it's an interesting time at the Pac-12 tournament. I'll tell you that, right? The final one as they know it. Did you catch any of the Players Championship? Is that on your radar at all? The 5th major in golf. DC, I know it's on yours, right?
I missed that.
Or did you not catch any of it?
No,
that's all right.
Usually
that's just Thursday.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I like weekend golf. I like to put it on and just do my projects, kind of watch hole by hole. It's
Rory McIlroy's leading the Players. -6 for Rory McIlroy. He's leading the Players. All right, we're going to hear from Jalen House at 9:30, as well as JT Toppin. Conversations that we had with both those guys after the game last night, 82-56. Toppin had another double-double, 18 points, 11 rebounds. House, 16 points, and really controlled the pace. I thought both of them were really, really good. I thought everybody was good yesterday. I walked out of that place last night just saying, okay, that's what they needed to do. They took care of business. It was workmanlike. They went out and they dominated. They controlled the team whom they are better than, and they just took care of business the way they needed to. And now let's see what they do today. People were asking me last night, all right, what does that mean for tomorrow? I don't know. It just means you get to play. I don't know. There's a train of thought. Well, if you play a close game, you're more prepared. Or, well, now they're going to be lackadaisical. They're not going to be lackadaisical.
No, there's not an end-all be-all to this. It's the Lobos, when we were asked that question of could they win a close game, what's going to happen in a close game when they were blowing teams out at the pit earlier in the year.
We found out.
You're gonna find your level. The games are gonna be different on the road, and you hope that now that you're at a neutral site, that it's even. And when you look at the line of this game, Boise State 1.5 point favorite. That's what you should expect. That's what New Mexico is hoping, because you're not gonna blow Boise State out the built. And so line up with them on a neutral site. Expect this to be 1 or 2 possession game in the final minutes, and who's going to be able to make those plays late, because that's where the Lobos need to be, because they were not able to be in a close game late against Boise State this season. And to your point of doing what they had to do, yeah, everyone's feeling good. You beat Air Force by 26 points. It's the largest margin of victory Lobos have ever had
in a Mountain West tournament.
Mountain West tournament.
Oh, that's true.
505-246-0610, Sports Animal Hotline and text line. As Jeff said, we will hear from Jalen House and JT Toppin coming up at 9:30. We keep it rolling this opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Every year in March, 60.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Figure out which side to put the batteries in this thing or something. You know what I mean? Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. Glad you're with us on a Thursday, quarterfinal Thursday here in Vegas at the Mountain West Conference Tournament. For you, it's Thursday, and I hear you get little snowflakes or something. Is that right?
No, not here.
They're getting big snow in Denver right now.
Are they? According to the email machine, you got a few snowflakes. When it's done, may I suggest you call On the Spot Automotive Detailing and have them detail your car? I know what my car looks like, and I'm going to guess yours is somewhat similar. They will come to you where it's convenient and when it's convenient and detail your vehicle. And that means inside and outside and around the rims and under the hood and under the seats. And like remember when you took it off a lot, how fun it was to drive that brand new feeling car? You can have that without getting a new car. On the Spot Automotive Detailing has been voted best in the city because they know what it takes to keep your car in the best condition. They've got ceramic coating, paint protection film. Works like magic. No more mud, dirt, water stains. Protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation that damages your car's paint as well. It's all online at otsdetailing.com. All right, and I don't know how much you got of that. I was just kind of giving you the schedule. JJ, is there a game outside the Lobo game that you say, yeah, I want to see today in the Mountain West Conference Tournament? I mean, all of them maybe, but is there one that just pops?
Nevada, Colorado State.
Really? More so than San Diego State and
yeah, because UNLV being without one of the Boom brothers, I think puts a huge damper on that game.
Okay.
I think the Aztecs to win it.
You would think. I don't know that I think they're playing incredibly well, but yeah, I would think they would win. All right, Colorado State, Nevada, and then the Lobos, if they can win today, will get the winner. I think you'd love a shot at Nevada, wouldn't you? Who, Lobo fan want Nevada? They want Colorado State tomorrow. I mean, take care of business first, get through. But who do you want?
Well, both of them were. You swept Nevada, but
they're
tight
both
games.
close.
Colorado State's game winner in the pit, second time around against Colorado State. So it's going to be a battle. There's not an easy game. Like where you're like, oh, I want to see that team. There's not that left.
Yeah, I just think Lobo fans love playing Alford. I just do.
Yes. Alford and Vegas.
If they can see Alford and Noodles on the other side, and I think they'd love
Especially
that.
because wasn't it is what we were always talking about when you referenced the last tournament we were actually together for a little bit at was it Patino's first year? They're sitting there courtside, and it was Nevada and New Mexico.
Yeah, and it was really fun. And it was really, really fun. And I mean, I think Lobo fans love that, and I think Steve and Craig like that. To be honest with you, I think that's kind of a big deal for them. I think they like it a lot. All right, some NFL stuff that went down. If you missed this, the Broncos will release officially. Now he's done. He's gone. He can go do what he wants to do. But officially will release Russell Wilson after June 1st. And what that means, JJ, is they're going to take the majority of the cap hit, like $53 million this year and $30-something million next year. Trying to rip off the Band-Aid, just move on from this disaster. And I don't know if there was a right way to do this, right? I mean, one way or another, they were going to have to eat this. And so they decided, you know what, this is going to be the year. Let's just eat it this year. We're probably not going to be very good, and let's go.
Yeah, just get it out of the way now. And for Denver, the 12th pick's fascinating because the more you look at it, the more I think that they're going to go Bo Nix at 12.
Do you really?
And so Sean Payton can say, hey, I have a young quarterback. This will be the redshirt season for him. If he plays, well, we know the team's not great, but it's going to be about experience. And then they'll go into year 2, trying to put a winning foundation in there because Denver has so much to overcome. They do not have a lot of draft capital. The salary is a mess because of the Russell Wilson situation. And this is usually what you don't see in the NFL because you can do things pretty quick in the NFL with free agency and the draft. But the Broncos don't have either of those things available for them. So they have to play the long game, which a lot of teams don't have to do. They have to.
Yeah. Yeah, they have no choice. To your point, they don't have the capital. They don't have draft picks. They don't have cap space. It's going to be tough. All right, this came down this morning. The Detroit Lions have extended their head coach, Dan Campbell, and their general manager, Brad Holmes, through the 2027 seasons. Great move. If anybody has killed it, it's that franchise. They've hit on almost everything in the draft. They resurrected the career of a quarterback who was basically thrown in on a scrap heap here. Take our guy. We don't want him, and we'll pay you for him, and we'll give you a first-round pick. They've utilized those picks. They were one game away from the Super Bowl. I know people are telling me the Packers are the biggest threat to the 49ers in the NFC. I still think it's the Lions. Good for them. Good move to extend those guys and keep those guys around.
Absolutely. What Detroit has done is phenomenal, and it's the hope that these franchises have, whether it's the Houston Texans last year or seeing the evolution of the Detroit Lions over the last 3 seasons with what they've been able to do. It's why the NFL just sucks us in. It brings us in. You have that hope. You feel your team has that ability. Even when we talk so much about quarterback play, getting caught up on it, elite, good, not being good enough, all these things, you still build a team you can compete at a very high level. And you look at in the NFC, the Packers are probably my favorite young group, but you know what you're getting out of the Detroit Lions. I think that's going to be an incredible race in the North between Detroit and Green Bay for that division.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to like. It's hard to not like what the Packers do. Unless you're a fan of one of their rivals, it's really hard to not like what they do. Text line, glad the Lobos won. I hope they surprise me tonight. Hope they surprise you too. Winning's fun, man. Winning is fun. Y'all are really quiet, though, after a win. I'll tell you that. I mean, I told somebody somewhat tongue-in-cheek, if they would have lost last night, I'd have started drinking after the game and wouldn't have stopped until after the show because this was going to be. Yeah, it was going to be rough, and I'm glad it's not. And hopefully we're not dealing with that tomorrow because this is big. Look, we've had a lot of big games this year. JJ, is this the biggest game they've had in
10 years?
10 years.
10 years.
Really?
Yeah, because this is, you live life on the bubble. Every game's big, and it's you say, excuse me. It's the way it is. The next one always matters just as much because if you win, well, then you can add to it. And we've saw that since the Air Force game of that, the bubble floating right side, wrong side, right side, wrong side. Globals lose this game. I don't think they're getting to the NCAA tournament. So absolutely, this is the biggest game in 10 years for the University of New Mexico because if they win this game, I believe they will get their name called on Selection Sunday if they don't win it, get an automatic bid.
They win today. Did they get out of Dayton?
I still think they're kind of cruising that line just because there's so much going on.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Dayton's the first four, kind of like the play-in game into the main bracket, but it's considered in. You get, I believe, you get a share, right? I mean, you earn your conference a share, and you get paid for that.
NCAA tournament.
Yeah, yeah. As much as people want to tell me it's not, I hate getting into the hyperbole, but I don't know that I think you're wrong.
Because you went into last year's tournament, and it wasn't we weren't talking like they were in the NCAA tournament. With the stretch, the run that they went on, the losses that they had, it was more of a feeling of this team has to win in Las Vegas to get it.
Who beat them last year? It was in the quarterfinal, right? It was on Thursday?
Yeah.
Do you remember who beat them last year? It doesn't feel that long ago, but it was that long ago. I honestly don't remember. Was it Colorado State?
It was Utah State.
It was Utah. Oh, yeah. I recall the game now. Yeah. Yeah, it was Utah State. Coach Odom, and then he went on and got paid. And that was a big one, too, but not as big as this because I agree with you. Last year, I think you needed to win a couple. This one is, boy, you get that monkey off your back. You get that monkey off your back. Lobo fan can rejoice. You can put your team in a bracket. You can say, all right, I'm going to Indianapolis, or I'm going to wherever it is, or I'm not going, but I'm watching. I'm taking Thursday morning off, and however it is. I'm not sure I disagree with you, man. This is about as big. And look, we've had games this year where we go into and say this is big, like the last Boise State game, right? When they went up to Boise 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
But I guess when you whittle it down a little bit more and you get closer and closer and grind it out, yeah, they become bigger and bigger. All right, both Jalen House and JT Toppin spoke about that, about winning and getting in the NCAA tournament. I spoke with both of those players after the game yesterday in the locker room, and they'll address that. Good conversations with dudes you don't get to hear from a lot. So when we come back, you'll hear from Jalen House, JT Toppin, after the victory over Air Force last night. It's the opening drive. We're live in Las Vegas on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Mountain West is red hot.
Find it on.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter.
Boise State tonight. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, we are here in Vegas bringing you some of this content thanks to the partners who make sure we get here. Frontier Restaurants in Albuquerque, tradition for more than 50 years. Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Airport parking, easier, quicker, smarter. Coleman Vision, perfect game. And DSI Document Solutions Incorporated, New Mexico. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. All right, JJ, afterwards, I got to talk to Jalen House. And by the way, can I tell you something? Remember when we were talking about the fans the other day?
Yes.
And I told you I really feel that Lobo fan, if you get a chance, should shake Jamal Mashburn and Jalen House's hand and thank them for 3 years of what they did here and bringing Lobo basketball back. I did that for both those young men. I actually, and I told you I was going to. I had a really good conversation off the record with both of those guys, and I think they were appreciative. But I think Lobo fan, and I had this conversation with a number of them at the arena yesterday. In this era of NIL and transfer portal, and nobody stays. Period. Nobody stays. Those guys were here for 3 years. They came here when the program was not very good, and they poured their heart into it and made you relevant again. And so I told you I was going to do that, and I did. And I'm glad I did. All right, here's a conversation I had with Jalen House, and we're going to refer to the award in there. He won the Defensive Player of the Year award in the media ballot, but in the official one, which is the coach's ballot, Lamont Butler of San Diego State was named the conference Defensive Player of the Year. And as you listen to it, you're going to realize it means a lot to him. Well, you sure as heck weren't ready for a tan tonight, were you?
I was very ready tonight. We had to pay them back for what happened last time.
You set the tone, and I say you. I mean, you collectively, like the instead as you, right? The you as a team. But you obviously had something, and early on there was a lot of energy. Talk a little bit about that and what the prep was tonight.
Just trying to come out to the game, be myself, be as confident as possible, and trying to get our team to win. That's really all it was.
How much do you guys talk about what happened before? I mean, the Air Force game, I know everybody in the world seems to be talking about it. Did you even have to talk about what happened in the pit a few weeks ago?
Yeah, because I feel like we wasn't taking it as serious at first in practice, and then I feel like once we started getting it going in practice, everybody started taking it serious, and we came out and dominated today.
Once you get hit in the face, I guess you don't need to be reminded, huh?
Yeah, honestly, you don't need to be reminded.
Defensively, I thought you were terrific, and obviously the award's great. What does the award mean? Does it mean something? It's got to mean something to you.
It definitely does. I mean, I don't know how you're the Naismith player or one of the 15 finalists for Naismith Defensive Player of the Year and you don't win your conference. So I just don't understand that. So we'll see what happens this week, though.
You win it on the media side and don't win it on the coaches side, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, the coaches one is the one that really matters. But I don't know how you're not Defensive Player of the Year when you're a top 15 defensive player in the country.
I think I completely agree with you. I see you shaking your head. All right, Boise State tomorrow. They beat you twice this year. It's a big physical team, especially on the perimeter. Talk a little bit about what you got to do differently to get them tomorrow. Keep this thing going, because obviously tomorrow's huge.
I mean, we just got to be physical right back. You know, I think we just let them bully us a little bit the first few times. So, you know, just trying to come out, be physical as possible. Obviously, making shots, making the right plays, playing, but most importantly, playing defense and rebounding.
How much Jalen House is our guest in another big game for Jalen tonight? Is he had a terrific game, set the tone, and had 16 points in the Lobos' big win over Air Force. NCAA tournament, you talk about it? Is it something you have to talk about? I mean, obviously that's the goal, and everybody tells you if you win tomorrow, you're in.
Of course, we're talking about it. You know, I haven't been to the NCAA tournament, so you know, it's a big thing that I've wanted to do my entire college career. So I'm trying to harp on these guys like, yo, this is important to me. So I'm just trying to make sure everybody on the same page.
I want you to hit on that because Lobo fans have been vocal and whatever, say what they say. I said on our show last week, you don't want it as a fan more than these guys do. You may love the Lobos, you may be a Lobo. These guys want to go, and I used you specifically. It's a fifth-year guy, and you haven't been to the dances. Nobody wants to go more than you do.
Hell yeah! I mean, I've been in college 5 years. The first 2 years here, we didn't make the tournament. So I mean, it's only right that we make the tournament this year. I mean, I'm doing all I can, and I don't know. The fans obviously know that we're playing hard, but that's how fans are. When you're not doing well, they gonna get mad, and when you're doing well, they give you all the praise. So I mean, I can't really get mad at Lobo fans for that, because that's how every fan base is. And you know, we appreciate them for coming out. You know, they show love just now. There was a whole bunch of people out there. They got us going a little bit. So I mean, it's good to have them still. I mean,
passion works both ways.
Yeah, honestly. That's right. That's the truth. But I just think they help us too, though. So you know, I don't have anything bad to say about the Lobo fans.
Man, they were great and they showed out today. How about that crowd?
Amazing.
Getting it done tomorrow. Good luck. Great
you.
Game today. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so that was Jalen House. JJ, it means something, man. It means something. And I've told you I love the way the kid plays. I know all of you don't, and I'm good with that. I love emotion. I love a guy who's going to stir it up. I'm good with that. Does he go over the line a little bit? Yeah, that's probably right. I'll take that all day. I will. But he said it. This is my 5th year. I've never been to the NCAA tournament. I want to go. I want to go badly. And no fan wants it more than these players do.
I really liked House's attitude, the way he talked about it. And it's an understanding of the pressure, the good and the bad that comes with it, having to navigate that, and just the focus that this team has. And this team has shown an incredibly high ceiling. Now you have to navigate that on the road, on a neutral court. And one of the things he said is what I think. This team has been about, playing fast and getting out in transition, but they haven't been able to slow down Boise State. And so they can't necessarily be that team tonight. They have to try to play a little bit of Boise State basketball. They have to go at the Broncos. They have to be an aggressive basketball team and attack them on both ends of the floor.
When you say play Boise State basketball, I mean specifically, so that you're saying go at them.
Go at them.
Be the aggressor.
Don't play too fast. Because I think if the Lobos try to play this game fast and say, hey, we're an up-tempo team, we're going to run, I don't think that's a successful game plan against the Broncos, because the Lobos have shown that they can't slow down the Broncos on the other end.
Fair enough. Boise State beat them twice this year. They always tell you, whoever they are, the Van Patten family, I think, that it's hard to beat a team 3 times. I also caught up with the fabulous freshman JT Toppin. He's freshman of the year in the league. He had another double-double last night and just played his first postseason college basketball game last night. Had this conversation with JT. Well, welcome to postseason college basketball. Any different than regular season ball?
No, it's really the same. Really the same.
Did you notice any more physicality? I mean, maybe tomorrow you will. Pressure, anything, or just another basketball game?
Yeah, I noticed a little bit more physicality. They foul more, but we play tough, so like we ready for it.
18 points, 11 rebounds, and again, 6 offensive rebounds. You guys dominated the boards. I thought one of the biggest things you did is keep them off the offensive boards. You had second chance points. They didn't.
Yeah, when we rebound, we're unstoppable, literally. So we just got to keep rebounding, stay tough, and stay on the glass on the defensive side.
Rebounding's a mindset. I mean, I never coached the college level. I played high school ball, but coached AU. Even when your shot's not going, what is the mindset? Why are you such a good rebounder, JT?
I love rebounding. So, like, I just say I'm going to get every rebound I possibly can. And it's really, I don't know, it's really just an instinct. Like, I just feel where the rebound's going, so I go to it. So, yeah, that's really, it just comes off the head.
Nobody says I love rebounding, man. I mean, that's special.
Yeah, no, it is. One of my favorite players is Dennis Rodman. So, like, I just like the way he rebounded. And he wasn't really that tall, but he had long arms, same like me. So, yeah, my favorite thing to do is really rebound.
How important was it, and JT Toppin's with us, how important was it to come out tonight and establish it early, not put this thing in doubt, run away? And I don't want to say cruise because I didn't play. I know it's not easy, but it was convincing. How important was it to get out quick?
It was really important. We knew it was going to have to come play hard tonight, just put our foot on their necks because, like, we didn't want to play with them. We just trying to get all these wins in the tournament. So, yeah, we had that mindset.
Here comes Boise State tomorrow. They beat you twice. They're physical. They're big. What is it about them, and where is it? I mean, I know you feel you can beat those guys. What do you have to do differently?
We got to rebound. We got to box out.
You love to rebound, I heard.
Yeah, we got to box out. Their guards are coming to tall, so like we just got to stay physical on the defense and offensive glass, and we'll be straight.
Yeah. NCAA tournaments. I don't know how much you guys are talking internally, right? It probably, if you win tomorrow, you're going to the big dance as a freshman. Do you talk about it? Do you feel about it, or again, how do you treat it like just another game?
Yeah, I treat it just like another game. I don't really try to think about it because, like, then you start getting in your head. I just wait till I'm there. So, yeah, I really just don't think about it and keep playing the next game.
How much fun are you having? It's hard to quantify it, and it's a hard way to ask the question. But as you came in, did you know you were going to be this good? Because you look like you enjoy playing basketball at this level.
I didn't know I was going to have this type of year I was having, but, you know, I worked hard, prayed on it, and it came to me. Having an exciting season. It's fun, amazing.
Feels like a fun group of guys to be around, and it's going to be a whole lot more fun if you can put on Dance's shoes, huh?
Yeah, no, we got to. We're going to do it.
Right, go get them. Congratulations on the win over Air Force. Good luck tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
JT Toppin, the Louisville freshman. I really enjoyed that. And, JT, you know, I mean, I like talking to coaches, but I always like talking to the student athletes. And I think they tell you sense emotion, you look them in the eye, you get it. That young man, and it may change, but that young man still really just is playing basketball because he enjoys playing basketball.
Absolutely. I like talking to the student athletes because I want to know who they are.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times the conversations that I have with the players, not necessarily focused on basketball, it's kind of how they got to where they are now. You know, what makes them tick as a basketball player, as someone on and off the floor, and then you get a sense of how they fit in, a sense of what they do on a day-to-day basis. And JT Toppin, man, he's just that dude. You try. He is someone that the times I've heard him talk and just watching him play basketball, you know, he doesn't get too high or too low. Like, I'm going to score the ball inside, I'm going to rebound the basketball. Keep it simple.
All right, 505-246-0610. Tony, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Tony.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. What's happening?
Good. Hey, I'm wondering if the coaches from the Mountain West just had it out for Jalen, and that's how come he wasn't Defensive Player of the Year.
I wonder that too.
The way he's done things.
Yeah, I wonder that too. I don't know that that's extremely far-fetched. You know, I think we've talked about it ad nauseum. He's a guy you love when he's on your team, and you don't like him when he's on the other guy's team. And I wonder if that's the case too.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Tony. Thanks. JJ, I mean, you think there's something? Look, I'm not telling you Lamont Butler's a bad player. In fact, Lamont Butler's a terrific player who won Defensive Player of the Year, and he's really good. But with all that said, if that happened, if that was just one of those, I'm not voting for that kid, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's something that it's not totally, deniable from that standpoint. And when you look at guards too, their impact defensively, do some people feel, Jalen House isn't a good defender. Like they don't look at, and like, all right, he has a bunch of steals, but because he's like that cornerback. That
Right.
you get the interception, that's awesome. But if you don't, then what's happened? You just gave up a big play the other way.
Who won it last year? Was it Mensah from San Diego State? It's usually, it tends to be a big who dominates around the rim, right? Yeah. His point's not lost, though. How am I a top 15 defender in the country, but not in our league? And it's fair. And obviously that meant a lot to him. And he didn't get it, and it went the other way. All right, 505-246-0610. You can respond to anything you heard right there. I thought those were two fun conversations. I really enjoyed them. Travis said late game starts help any team needing to win 4 games. Just because you get the full day rest, I imagine, is what he's saying. All right, we'll wrap it up. You still have time to get in. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Get you ready to get through your day next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Spout? You ready?
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, You shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
And it may be one of these things where the Lobos pull it out. Look, like I said, winning cures everything. These guys may go to the dance, and all you people that were on the ledge, get back in the room and get back in the building. They're alive, and they're doing good, fellas. Let's pull for them. Good luck tonight, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate the phone call. Dan got in at 505-246-0610.
I'm not going to lie. I lost connection. I didn't hear anything Dan said.
He was just telling people, get on board, get off the ledge. Thinks the Lobos are going to beat Boise State today. He's coming in last segment. I think it was 45 minutes. We're doing pretty good with it. And then who knows what's going on, man. It's early morning in Vegas. So the Lobos, though, I think they just need to be in attack mode tonight. And it's one that they've tried to play their game twice against Boise State, and it did not work. And I think there's a world where New Mexico can play too fast against the Broncos. And they've shown that they haven't been able to slow Boise State down. Being physical, going at them. And you can still play up-tempo in a half-court set. How do you do that? Dribble drive offense. Attack off the dribble, move the ball around the perimeter, get inside, post up, cut off the post, go right at Boise State. That's one of the things that Jalen House said. They know they got to be physical tonight. And they got to take it to the Broncos. Give themselves a chance in this game.
I think they win tonight. I do. You don't feel that way, do you?
Well, the same feeling you had the last time they played Boise State.
Really?
Because it was a game
So
that
that-
people thought they were going to win.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's... I wouldn't pick the Lobos right now.
Okay.
But I don't... This is one where, if I come in tomorrow and I said, you dumbo, you didn't pick the Lobos to win and they win, I think it's going to be a 1-2 possession game in the final minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You get-
Yeah, and Max Rice usually hits a shot from the logo in those situations to win games. I mean, it's kind of what we've been watching. I think a big key is they didn't have to burn a bunch last night. That everybody didn't have to play 35 minutes. They weren't intense minutes. Does that make sense to you? That going through, as you come up through that bracket and have to play the extra game, I just think the fact that Boise State's going to be fresher, but I just think that they got to play last night. They got in a good sweat. It wasn't insanely taxing. They were dominant. I think they got a good feel coming off that Utah State game, which, understanding that it's Air Force, to me, you almost get that bad taste out of your mouth. If there's any doubt who we are, you got that out because you played on that floor last night and you dominated. And I think they're really evenly matched. Boise State's obviously been better than them because they won the last two. I think they win tonight. And I think they need it more. What's my theory?
A team that needs it more gets the dub. What's interesting, though, and what I've heard, it's a third day that it gets you more. Because playing back-to-back, teams have done that in the season. They played in MTEs. They played on back-to-back days. So this isn't one where you're going to go, oh, my gosh, you're so tired, even if you had to play a tougher game, because some of that is you're in your rhythm and you got a little bit of your sweat on. But I don't think that, to your point, UNM is going to be good to go regardless. It's when you get into the day 3, you kind of start thinking about what you've done, how much you played, and, of course, if you're able to get into the championship game. So tonight, I'm not worried about minutes, anything like that. I think the Lobos are going to be good to go and locked in.
Yep, I think so too. All right, headlines this morning: Lions, the Detroit Lions, National Football League, have re-signed their general manager and their head coach. Dan Campbell's going to be around till 2007. There were some NFL signings. I don't know that anything blows your socks off. The Broncos are going to take the hit, as you know, over the next 2 years on the salary cap for Russell Wilson. They're going to try to rip the Band-Aid off and eat as much of it in year number one. And Lobos play tonight. It is going to be a 9:30 start over on News Radio KKOB. Robert Portnoy, Hunter Green will have the call from the Thomas and Mack Center here in Vegas, and then you get Lobos Live with Kenny Thomas after the game, he and Brandon Ortega, so you can call in and talk to them. We'll be back in the morning, of course, and we'll talk about it. Howard, you are on the Sports Animal. Good morning, sir.
Gentlemen, you love in Vegas?
Love in Vegas.
What kind of question is that? Right? Hey, you know, I did look at the box score. I had to stream the game, but you know what? Mashburn only played 19 minutes. Maybe he's a little slow coming back from the illness, and that's a big benefit, winning the way the Lobos won. And I think that did get him out there, like you said, get a good sweat on. And they didn't have to play overwhelming minutes. And JT Toppin, what can you say? That guy's just an animal. And I thought Jalen House shot a little bit better last night.
He was.
I think the key tonight, you talked about dribble penetration and what have you. I think Donovan Dent's a big key tonight. What do you guys think?
Always. He's always is. And he gets to the rim as well as anybody in this league. House was 6 of 13. He hit 2 threes, one from the corner in the first half, and then he hit the one right before the half and did his little dance. Did they show it on the broadcast?
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, so he danced. He didn't shoot great, but he shot better. I thought he played well. But to Howard, yeah, I think Dent getting to the rim, his dribble penetration is always a key because I think he does that as well as anybody in this league.
Yeah, and the hope is, while that dribble penetration is going on, maybe you can get some of the big guys in trouble, foul trouble there at Boise State. I think they win a tight one tonight, guys, but I still believe in that. You can't beat a team 3 times, but I guess we'll see tonight.
Yeah, it happens.
Enjoy Vegas.
All right, we'll see you. I mean, it happens. I don't know who says that you can't. Is it difficult? I imagine it's probably difficult, right? But to say you can't, I mean, it happens on a regular basis. Is it more difficult? I imagine. I go with a theory a lot in this league. When 2 teams are evenly matched, the team who needs it more tends to win. That's usually a regular season theory, not necessarily in the postseason. Boise State's in the NCAA tournament. Boise State will be right around at what, an 8 seed? Right in there?
Boise, yeah. Jerry has them as a 7 this morning.
7, so that's right around an 8. Yeah, so if they get beat, they drop maybe to an 8, or maybe not. It's not a bad loss. It would be a quad 1 loss for them. So it's not. And like Jerry Palm told us, and he was with us, this bracketologist from CBS Sports. And if you missed what he said about the Lobos or any of it, or Jalen or JT, you can go wherever you get podcasts. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive, and you can listen to any of the conversations that we had today. You can always listen to the show there. Jerry made a point, though. Usually about now, nobody's dropping and raising more than 1 line, maybe 2, right? I mean, you're pretty much where you are.
Yeah, and I think the one thing, if you're in New Mexico, though, you can play yourself out of Dayton, which would be huge, and just get yourself into the tournament field without having to play that extra game.
Yeah, and I will tell you again, if you missed Jerry, one thing he did say, and he believes, like most of us do, if the Lobos win tonight, they're in. They'll be in the NCAA tournament. If they don't win tonight, that doesn't mean they're out. They can still get in. Depends on what happens around the country. But the gentleman from Sports Illustrated told me yesterday, he says, I think it's then about a 20-25%. So then you're waiting.
It will not be a fun 3 days.
No. Just win tonight, take care of business, and maybe you see Steve Alford and Craig Noodles tomorrow night.
And
everybody gets.
What a Friday night it would be.
It would be a fun Friday night at the Thomas and Mack. All right, you got what do you got today? You got baseball, softball? What do you got? Are softball games today? Nothing.
I got a nap coming up today.
So do I. DC, and you, DC, you're going to go out to the state tournament today?
We are, and I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good time.
In my mind, the idea that this tournament basically sold Kenny Thomas on this team and on UNM, I'm into it. I want to see what that's like in person.
Yeah, it's interesting that's really stuck with you. And Kenny said One of the reasons, he said he passed up lunch with Dean Smith, right, North Carolina, because he played in front of 18,000 people in the pit for a high school game, and said that's where I want to play.
I've never heard anyone turn down Dean and Smith. It's just insane.
Yeah, he did all right. Thanks to Jalen House and JT Toppin and Jerry Palm. They all guested on the opening drive today. The Jim Rome Show is next. Heard with Colin Cowards after that. 2 men on this year at 4. We'll be back tomorrow morning from Vegas with award-winning radio at 7 a.m. DC, great work. Adrian, terrific. JJ, big day?
Huge day. Peace out. Talk to you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.